I mean,
and this chick was a doctor, and so I mean, if you can pull one over on her, and she's supposed to be one of the most brilliant among us. Well,
I learned a long time ago that shit don't mean
she
anything.
knew what was going on.
I think she knew too.
She just mad that she wasn't the only side chick. She was one of many side chicks,
Right.
and that's what made her mad.
That's what it was.
That's all it was.
I agree with that part.
Yeah,
for sure.
So, and the thing too is, I do believe, because they all kind of consistently said he was lying and saying, "Oh yeah, well, we're separated," or I'm basically framing like I'm not married. We're getting through we're going through a divorce. I mean, why lie? Just tell them the fucking truth. Like
the same guy that said that even if you're separated, you still shouldn't.
That Derrick Jaxn.
That Derrick Jaxn.
I saw that tweet and I was like, "Ooh, that is not gonna age well."
Even if you're separated, you should behave like you're married.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah,
fuck out of here.
That's what he said. I mean, we don't even have to have in another person. We could set up a whole versus against Derrick Jaxn versus with one person, which we've never done.
Right. Yeah, dude. Like I said, I don't believe his audience is going to change. I don't think that.
I don't think so either.
I don't think the ladies are going to run away because there's not a lot. And you know what? Somebody on I think it was my homegirl Kat. She brought it up on Facebook. She says there's not a lot of black men in the position of Derrick Jaxn that makes it his point to uplift black women in that way. Yeah. So that aspect of it, she says, he's not going to lose any audience behind.
And the reason he does that is he's
I literally. And
some of the stuff he says is some of the stuff he says does have a hint of truth.
Which would be great if he actually practiced it.
Yeah, and what he does is he completely leaves out nuance though.
Right.
And it's so one-sided all the time.
Yeah, right.
And so some of the stuff he says, of course, is true.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with you calling out the brothers.
Yeah, some of the stuff
I don't have a problem with that. But
I had a girl on my page that said, "I don't care what happens. I still don't believe it." At this point, she's like, I still don't believe it.
Believe what?
She don't believe what he did it?
Yeah, right.
See, that's...
She don't believe that he was with the other women?
That just goes to show you how much
she don't believe he really
I mean, these chicks came out to the blogger, Tasha K. She was like, he was doing those videos in front of my house.
She said, I saw the text. They said they sent the text message. She screenshot the text messages.
Man, he was
because the one who said that, he called her to make it better after he did the video with his wife.
Oh wow!
He called her back
because he had the third one. He had her blocked on all his social media.
Wait, did you notice that's when they got mad? Every single one of them, I noticed when they said something, they was like, and then I noticed he blocked me.
Not that he was married.
Not when he was married. Not that they even had, when he blocked them, it was over. Because that means they can no longer
they don't have access to
they were like,
I gotta nuke him.
Yeah. But they wasn't no good either because like I said, they all knew something was wrong and they knew he was full of it too watching this video.
Right.
Like I said, the first one, she said, well, he pulled his thing out the first night and he was just trying to get me to do it with him, but I didn't feel comfortable. It creeped me out.
I had to give it 24 hours.
Was she with Derrick Jaxn or secretly DeShaun Watson?
Did she get a massage first?
Get out.
Did he get a massage first?
Get out.
But I mean,
I had to
get out. Go.
And speaking of which,
Sticks-N-ShyTalk podcast is now 3 members big. And we no longer fuck with J Steve.
Yeah, we'll get the
put
the J Speed disclaimer in the crawl.
DeShaun, what's going on with DeShaun Watson, man?
Sean Watson.
Yeah, what's up with your man?
So, my man DeShaun, just out of nowhere, because we didn't hear about this ever before. A woman comes out, says that she is a massage therapist that flew from Atlanta to give a massage.
Must be some hell of a massages.
And on Instagram, she found on Instagram.
Mike Lowry told me about it.
And said that she didn't feel comfortable. I think originally she said because he was naked on the table.
Is that the one that came from another city, or is that the girl that was in Houston?
Came from Atlanta.
Okay.
Right? So she came from Atlanta, and she filed a civil lawsuit, saying that he was inappropriate, sexually with her.
Is that the one that shot on herself?
I don't know which one.
Damn, I didn't hear all that. Somebody shot
I hear about no
herself?
bodily fluids, bro.
No, so like that's the one. That's the girl that said he was naked on the table. She started to get the jitters or whatever, and she passed out. And when she woke up,
She got the
she had
jitters.
defecated on herself.
She passed out and took a shit.
Wait, because he was
What?
naked?
Yeah, that's what she said.
She walked in.
She saw him naked on the table
on this show? Didn't we
Is
kick you
that
off the
good or
show
bad?
for this bullshit?
No, I'm telling you what she said.
This is real?
Shit, real.
So she walked in.
She walked in, saw him naked. He had a little his shit covered right here. She got nervous because she felt uncomfortable. She passed the fuck out, and she woke up, and she shattered herself.
Hey, do you know what kind of big dick story that is for him? Guess how big my dick is.
My dick's so big.
My
My
dick's
dick's
so big.
So huge.
She seen it and passed out.
And shit on
And
herself.
shit on herself before she woke up.
Passed the fuck out. That's the same girl. That's what she said.
I was like, why are you still here?
So, are we,
exactly
we
what she
supposed
said.
to believe that's what happened?
Man, that's so fuck bullshit.
See, he must have had all his jewelry, and they know, you know what I'm saying, this guy a lick.
He walked in that bitch like Lil Boosie.
How many love
Is
me
she
long
suing
times
for
have
shitting
he?
on herself? Like, I don't.
How many is it?
Now it's up to, I think it's 14 lawsuits and 22 women or something.
Damn.
God
Yeah.
damn.
But you know, we've had massage therapists come out and supported him, saying, "Hey, I've had him. I've never had anything inappropriate."
What they
happen."
look like?
I don't know. So, but I'm saying, so here's
Look
my,
like the Family Guy made.
so I have a couple. I have a couple points on this, right? One, if this happened all of 6 months ago, like the first girl came out, it's supposed to happen like over New Year's time or something. Like it hadn't really been that long,
Right.
right? Why was there never ever a criminal charge filed? One, two. The police department said that they haven't found any evidence, none's been presented to create a case, right?
On any of them.
Any of them, on anything.
She don't got no shitty draws that she could kill.
I'm sure we can come up with something.
Shitty evidence.
At all, bro. Like, at all.
I promise you. these
Now,
are
here's
months
my
old.
thing. Do I feel like DeShaun Watson has an infatuation with the rub and tug? Of course. Do I feel? Of course, right?
Of course.
Is he cheating on his girl with some of these chicks? Of course. But do I feel like he has some that he's a serial sexual offender?
A serial get rubbed and tugger.
My question is,
No, he is a serial get rub and tugger.
A serial
I don't think he's
rubber
in
and
a-
tugger.
so you give him the creep title. But there's no law
it's not
against being a creep.
It's illegal, but it's not creepy. A lot
Well,
of
to your
guys.
I
point
mean, is it creepy to go to a massage parlor and get?
That's not
Look,
creepy.
okay, now let me ask you this: when he has all capability to get a lot of women, I won't say any
I
woman,
said he has a fetish.
but a lot of
He
women.
has a fetish. Some people have their fetishes, right? They have their shit. Some fetishes are legal, some aren't.
That's a
Being
whole
a
other
creep is
show.
not illegal.
Right. It's not illegal, but I don't think he's.
but
a
it's still
creep,
being
bro.
a creep. I mean,
Well,
do you think it's a creep?
He's a creep.
Why is he? Because he likes rubbing tugs. So dudes. They
What's
go,
the rub or
so,
the tug? Which
so if
would
a
make
dude
him a
goes,
creep?
goes against a prostitute. Is he a treat? Is he a creep?
Well,
It depends on where he get it from.
Well, and Miles, here's a bigger issue.
You go get him off Cincinnati. He a creep.
Hold on. You could get prostitutes and be a creep, but not just because you get prostitutes make you a creep.
so
right?
If you go to Treasures and you get you something out of Treasures, you're not a creep.
It's only if you go to.
If you go ride down Bissonnette, pick bitches up off the corner,
Right, slow as shit.
you a
Hey.
creep.
Hold on.
in a trench coat.
Hold on.
In a trench coat.
Speaking of Bissonnette,
In a trench coat.
Speaking of Bissonnette, check out Soapbox Go, the podcast studio. Right down the street from the creeps.
That's where it is.
Hey, so look.
Right in the middle, right in the
freak
heart of,
come out
right in
all
the heart
day.
of Freak City.
Right. So how do you feel about them basically accusing him of things, not publicly accusing him with no evidence whatsoever?
I think it sucks that you can do that.
I think
I don't
it's
think you should even be
2021.
able to do that.
Right, I think
I
it
don't
sucks
either.
you could do that because you could.
I never thought about that.
It's just the accusation.
think about this.
A
is enough to
lawmaker
destroy
tried
a
to
lot of
come out
people's
with a
career.
law to say, that they have to have some type of burden of proof or something like that, and got attacked. This was just recently.
Really?
Yeah,
just
and so
recently.
I'm on
So,
this burden
Me too,
of
Air
proof.
Max shit's
I
fucked up,
won't
man.
say what side of the aisle they're on because I don't want to start no
hold
drama.
on, but let me tell you the way a prime example how that's some fuck shit. So a friend of mine who's from doesn't matter. He sent me a text and he was like, "Uh-oh, it looks bad for DeShaun Watson." I said, "Why?" He said they put out an article about how much he likes massages and rubbing tugs, and I'm like, okay, and like that's obvious, right?
That's not
But,
illegal.
But people, first of all, well, depending on where you are, it is illegal. But you know,
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
I think it's illegal.
But I think
Happy
you know,
ending.
Especially the
just
tug.
because he
Yeah.
likes
Not the
rubbing
rub.
tugs doesn't mean he likes rubbing tugs and forcing himself on women.
Yeah, you're making a false equivalence.
You're making a false equivalence, and that's what they like to do. They like to put that out there all the time, and you get an idea of something in your head that a lot of people aren't going to let go of.
Right.
This
Yeah.
is
Right.
like the girl who's Derrick Jaxn loyalist, and she's never going to let go of that because she's emotionally tied to the shit he said. So there's going to be some people who are going to be emotionally tied to the fact that he may or may not have. You put some doubt in their mind about who he is, and they're going to be stuck there the rest of his life.
Give him
Right.
3 years. He's
Yeah.
gonna be just fine. It's
I think-
Well,
2021.
luckily,
Give him about 6 months.
I
Give him 30
I
days.
just thought it was convenient that all of this shit came out as he was wanting to leave the
He,
test.
he should,
And also,
he should
I'll
come
say
out and
this
say, "I
too.
love rubbing tugs,"
Also,
and everybody will forget.
No, but his lawyer came out and basically said, yeah, he did this, but nothing inappropriate happened, right? The lawyer basically statement said that.
Right.
But it also, there's something to the fact that Tony Busby is behind all this shit. Tony Busby is a
Yeah, I
serial
mentioned that.
ambulance chaser.
Yeah.
Right? He will fucking ride that. He'll find anything
Right.
to ride
Yeah,
that
he
shit out.
ran for
And
mayor.
matter of
Yeah.
fact, yeah, you did run for mayor.
Yeah, he did.
And then also, when the police came out and said they had no evidence to do anything,
Yeah.
he was like, "Well, I'm gonna hire my own investigator. Like, I'm
sure you would.
I'm sure you would.
I'm sure.
You know what I'm saying? And I think it's really jacked up that this can happen, and you could bring this dude down through all this.
Should
But-
should you be able to sue for? I think in an ideal world, and you guys
Sue
correct
for
me.
what?
Defamation.
And what is he gonna get from these broke chicks? A $500 massage? Like, what is he gonna get?
Like
What
like
the
they
fuck
can't
is
prove that it didn't happen, and he can't prove
I
that
think
it
if you
didn't happen.
publicly accuse somebody of something, and you have no evidence to, back it
I
up,
think there should be.
you can destroy somebody's career like that.
But
especially
see,
now.
but here goes
Just
the,
out of curiosity, how many of these chicks accusing him of anything are black?
Probably most of them.
Okay.
I haven't seen them. But and also, so a couple of them like actually said they went back 2 and 3 times. I'm like, if you went back
Right.
2 and 3 times.
I mean,
why
I can't
would
just
you go back?
publicly say, okay, well, you know what, Miles kicks puppies. I have no evidence that he does,
Right.
but
But
Right.
see,
I heard that.
But
here's where it's a slippery slope. What about the times where there is nobody around to see it?
No,
Because
it's definitely
things
his
do
words.
happen,
Right.
Because then you would have the opposite. You would have
But
people
that's
taking
why-
advantage of the fact that there's nobody to see it.
But the thing is, if you're, and I'm not saying they aren't, but the fact that if you're a professional masseuse, then you know that there's some standards and guidelines you go to protect yourself, and what lines you cross that now take you out of your professional, environment.
Right.
Or takes you out of your, so if this is where you stand, then you already crossed that, right? Because the first thing, let's say you go down to Massage Envy down here, if you do anything they feel halfway inappropriate, they're
Right
going to
there
report
and
it to
then.
someone right
Right.
then and there, right? And that
Right.
goes on, and they'll handle that appropriately. Thing is,
like
you
the
don't.
time you got put out.
Not that time.
Not that.
So if this goes on months later, you want to report it, or you're in a hotel where there's no protection and you didn't flew 4 states over, or whatever the case may be, then that should be something to your discredit as well, because you have also went outside. Like here's a prime example. I'm a coach. I work with kids, right? Every year, I just took one 2 days ago. They had these tests you have to take. These
DNA
quizzes,
test?
huh? A what test?
DNA test?
No, my nigga. So these about
Damn, we throwing you under the bus today
inappropriate
like
things
a
to do with
motherfucker,
kids,
huh?
right? And they simple shit
I
we all
brought you
know,
on
right?
2 more times.
Don't have a female. Don't have a kid of. Don't have any kids in your personal car. Like basic shit like that,
Right,
right?
basic rules.
You know what I'm saying? Basic
Right,
stuff
right.
to protect you, the school, and the kid. So if I take 4 kids and take them to my house and spend the night, then I'm not opening myself up to whatever may or may not be true.
Yeah,
Michael
Because
Jackson.
I took them outside of where I was supposed to be.
Yeah. I mean, and
Right.
the funny
Exactly,
thing
you know
is,
what
people
I'm
made
saying?
fun of Mike Pence when he said, "I won't even meet with women by
yeah,
myself."
Yeah, by myself.
Right.
You know,
Because you can't put and that's the thing. I think you put yourself in a bad position, but that's never ever said. It's always said he's the one in a bad position, and he did put himself in a bad position You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah, and there's also that acceptance because he is famous, so
Of
they
course.
will let him do more things. Because there's a lot of, if I went to Massage Envy with my balls out, somebody gonna say it's not gonna take too long before his ball get out of here.
I just think that
you got the cops waiting on your ass.
or
Yeah, try that.
men in power just they're way too lax about where we are right now as a
No, I
country.
agree.
I think they become lax. I think they are lax. I think it's because they get everything else so easily
Right.
to where they feel
Their
like
sense of reality isn't the same as yours. Especially
not at all.
Especially athletes, because athletes, wherever they're from, and he's from a small town in Georgia, like wherever you're from, you're the biggest shit around ever since age 9 or 10.
You remember when 50
Right.
Cent said every time a chick comes to his house, he records them?
Yeah.
He records them in the bedroom. He records them. He lets them know they got to sign a disclaimer like
Right.
like they
I
know they're being
understand that.
recorded.
Recorded.
Nobody was
And everybody was like, man, that's some clown shit.
No,
it's not.
it's not.
No, nobody was ever better at this shit than Derrick Jeter, right? Derrick Jeter, he wasn't getting married till he was 50 or whatever the shit was. He had as much fun as, but every woman had to sign an NDA. Every woman had to leave their phone somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like people were always around, so you couldn't ever say something happened that didn't happen. Right? That's how they covered
Yeah.
it. And I think, across the board, he put himself in a bad situation.
Yeah.
Right? And the thing is
Right.
but that doesn't make him a criminal. And I think also it looks really, for me, the fact that Nike ain't going nowhere, the teams, ain't no team said we're not going to deal with him. NFL ain't said shit. That goes to a testament there's not any legs into there, because they're going to look into that fast.
Right.
Like they don't want to be tied to it.
We're living in an environment though where it's just 0% trust
Right.
across the board,
Yeah.
Right.
from male and female.
Right.
It's not always trust. Sometimes it's just taking advantage of the situation. Everybody's trying to get up the ladder or making a couple extra bucks the easiest possible way.
And this is football. Could you imagine the owner cutting him like, did you hear that he walked in the room, she seen his dick and passed out? He's a legend.
Right.
Right. Like I ain't never had nobody.
Can I hit a point you said earlier? 'Cause I know you were you don't know if you ever got there, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I think you were leaning toward there should be some type of punishment for people who make false accusations like this, right?
publicly.
Yeah, yeah.
And here, I'm on the fence about that. And let me tell you why I'm on the fence about it. Because let's say some guy,
Well, you said false accusations. You're on the fence about.
even false accusations, let me tell you why. Let's say, because here's the deal. How do you define false? Because
She lying?
You can't prove it happened.
No, here's the deal though. So if I can't prove it happened, I mean it happened. It didn't
Yeah,
happen.
I mean,
right?
Let's say I prove it didn't happen though.
Right. So that's still, but it opens, and that's fine, but it opens the door for too much gray area.
No,
right?
it doesn't. Not with DNA testing today.
No, but you can.
How
but
about-
he's not getting accused of rape. He's getting approved.
How about this? If there were cameras in there
DNA
and
doesn't prove him.
What if there was cameras in there and the cameras clearly showed that he didn't do? And I'm not saying he didn't, but
Right.
let's say the cameras clearly showed he laid there
That's
with
fine.
the towel where it was supposed to be, and all this
So
was a
that's-
lie.
Well, it's-
That's hold on.
Should that be okay?
Well, they kind of have
No, of
laws.
course it'd be
Like,
okay,
if you
but-
file a false police report, you are going to. There are consequences for doing that.
Right.
I agree with you, but here's the deal though. So where does that law stop? So in this situation, you're 100% correct. I'm not denying it. But where does that law stop? So let me give you an example. Big boss man worth millions of dollars, right? Makes advances as secretary making $30,000 a year, right?
It happens all the time.
Happens all the time. Sexual advances, whatever. And she doesn't feel comfortable. Let's say it even goes as far as almost rape or even rape, right?
Right.
She hires a lawyer to file a case. He hires the big lawyers. His homeboy's the
Right.
judge. You know what I'm saying? He got the city councilman on his phone. Does all that shit. They crush her shit, right? And she's 100% right. But they crush her shit. But because she can't prove it and they crush it, he now files another suit saying that that's a false accusation because the court proved that she was wrong, right? So now he files a false accusation. She can't work. She goes to jail. Her kids go to foster care. Like, I think at some point you're starting to give the power back to the wrong person in that situation.
Yeah.
So I agree with you saying in this situation, but the law opens up too much gray area for somebody else to take full advantage of that.
so-
Because
And
that
I know
happens all the time.
There's different. I know there's a standard when you're You can speak to this, Tyrone, a little more detail. It's a different standard when you're a public figure accusing somebody of slander or defamation.
Yeah, I think because with the possibilities of
what
what
you
it
gonna
could do to their
for?
career.
You worth $200 million. She's worth $150.
But it's still
what are you gonna get?
But it's the potential of your career.
I get it, but it doesn't change public perception.
Let me
People
ask
want
you
to believe
this,
that.
because there's another side to everything. Because now we're living in a time.
So how do we define the word proof? And if a judge says not guilty,
Right.
then is that now proof that it didn't happen? Like, what do you define as proof?
Right.
The proof is it could be proven. Maybe something is on camera. Maybe somebody says somebody was at a place at a time that they weren't there, and there's a place that they're recorded somewhere else. There's certain things that can be proven.
I got you. But in the court of law, we all know how people can twist them facts.
No, but you can't prove he was doing this to me at 9:30. But no, they got him on camera at HEB at 9:30. You can't twist that.
No, I got you.
So that's what I'm saying. And
But
these things happen.
But if she's saying, if I got you on camera, her going into the office at 10:15, and she come out at 11 o'clock.
Now that's different.
Right.
So what happened behind that closed door?
That's different.
She say he raped me. He say we talked about fucking balance sheets.
I think what
like
they call that
fucking,
circumstantial.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So now it's but at that point, if that guy or that person has those people on his payroll, you can now make these motherfuckers suffer that she can't ever combat. Right. So at the same time, I think it's a real gray area, and I think it's a Pandora's box you can open to fuck up a lot of people worse than the people who need to get fucked up.
But how if it's wrong?
So if it's wrong,
people are getting fucked over on both ends.
Because you both people on both sides get fucked up. If she says he raped her, he has all the money, all the power, and all the connections to prove he didn't, even though he did. Right.
Right.
So then it said not guilty, you're lying. That's what not guilty means. But not guilty basically in the court of law means that he's right and you're wrong.
All right.
So now he can now file a countersuit saying she lied because the court proved that what she said wasn't true.
Okay.
So now you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
So it's a gray area of what do you use as proof to say yes or no to that shit? And that's why I think I understand the protection of what we want in that law, and I'm all behind that. I just think that we got to look at our justice system over time, and they are wrong a lot, and this gives you more area to be wrong on the wrong people.
But what do you call the wrong people?
The people,
it goes both
the people
ways.
who did get hurt but can't prove that they got hurt,
and that goes both ways.
It does go both ways, but I think that doesn't mean that this person should now be at some point had a chance to be penalized for it.
And the other person should be penalized for it with no recourse.
No. I'm not saying that. If you can prove he did it.
Well, what if you treat it like you do in a grand jury trial? Like if I go on a grand jury trial and I lie under oath, I'm going to jail.
Yeah,
for lying to a grand jury. Because that's what Little Kim went to jail for.
No, I got you.
Not for the shit she did. It's just
what
you lied about.
I'm for this.
That's why Bill Clinton got disbarred. Not for the sex shit.
Right.
It's for lying to a grand jury. That is a crime.
Right.
I got you.
You know, the whole Me Too shit, like, I mean, I'm for them, but at the same time, they're taking it. Some of them ladies are taking advantage of
There's
this
no due process.
There's no due process. You could just come out and say any fucking thing because you didn't get promoted or, you know, you didn't get that bonus you wanted. You didn't do anything. You could just accuse a man of whatever, and
look,
he's fucked.
Tamika says
his whole career is fucked up.
Look, Tamika say they want to ruin that man's life and his career. Them women should be prosecuted if they're found to be lying. But
Yes.
that's the gray area is how you're going to find out if they're lying. That's what you say.
Because there was nothing
That's what you say, Miles. There's no way to find
out
out
if they're lying.
Yeah,
Right.
she says, but that,
Because-
me, if I'm the judge, I walked in the room, I seen his dick, I passed out and shit myself. I would think that was a lie off the top. I would say you full of shit.
You wouldn't be like, guilty.
Nah, I'd laugh.
But nobody has
I would
accused
laugh.
him of sexual assault. No, not one of those women
Betty
have
Boone
accused
say
him
he a
of sexual
freak.
assault.
They
said he was inappropriate.
He's a freak.
So that's what I'm saying, though. So they could defamate his character, and we prove that he and if it comes out that he wasn't, and that they can prove that he was sexually inappropriate, then there's going to be somebody there's in his name.
Right.
Is still tainted.
His name's still fucked
because his people
Right.
still gonna believe the shit.
Yeah.
This week, I believe in women regardless. There's gonna be someone who was sexually assaulted,
Right.
Who never got her day, who's going to automatically jump on that and say, you know what I'm saying?
Well, Deshaun Watson, I think it is going to hurt his earnings. I think
don't know
it
about
does.
his earnings, though.
I mean,
I don't know about his
what
earnings.
was his trade
You
possibilities?
don't think it's gonna hurt his money?
His trade possibilities and teams,
I don't think so.
the value
He
of the
just
teams
signed a
be willing to
$200
give him.
million contract. That ain't going nowhere. The Nike money ain't going nowhere. Or he may not get a new contract with fucking Wendy's and wherever he goes to play, but he's still gonna be.
And you don't think? I
$300-400
don't know everything going on with him, but are they going to offer him less money wherever he's going? Has that lowered his value? Period.
No, because he just signed his contract last year. It's like a 5-year contract.
So they're gonna pick
if he
up-
goes anywhere, he has to. They're
So
gonna trade
is
him.
everybody
Right,
still
but is that
willing to pick
contract
up-
all guaranteed?
And is
No,
that-
but most of his money was up front.
is everybody willing to pick up his contract?
Ain't no, the
He hasn't had
teams
no
are still
issues with
saying interested in trading for him.
Well, because like I said, they are in behind closed doors. The owners in the GMs, they're like, that boy good. That boy good. He a legend.
Actually-
hey, that's what
Hey,
it is, really.
Remember they
He was like, I would like a back massage.
Oh shit!
right. And so you know, and Tamika just said cease and desist if they could prove it. I'm with you, but at the same time, that looks like a bully. That can be taken as a bully move as well, right? So yeah, I think there's no real win for him in this situation. You know what I mean?
Nah, that's fucked up.
And it's fucked up. Now he's going to be outcast because he's a cheater. Fine, right? He's gonna be outcast because he loves a lot of women. Fine, but I think
He can't be a cheater. He's not married. Fuck. I mean,
he cheated on his fiance. Like it is what it is. It's
oh,
still
he had a
cheating.
fiance. I didn't know.
Yeah,
he
he got a girl and a fiance. She bad too, but he cheated on her.
Right.
And so it is what it is. So that's always going to
So
be
that proves that looks aren't everything. You still,
can I say this
you
now?
still go get the rub and tug.
Can I say this now? Women. Does not matter how well you look, how good you look, how big your ass is, how nice your titties are. It don't matter any of that shit. How well you fuck, how much you cook. If a nigga wants some more pussy, he gonna get some more pussy.
Well, you know, you threw you went kind of far. Some of those things help.
it helps, but it's not a guarantee.
Those things are resume enhancers.
Yeah,
But it's not a guarantee.
Kinda
It's not a
help.
guarantee though. Like it ain't a guarantee because we done seen some lot of bad chicks
Yeah.
get cheated on.
With all of that stuff, like that came with it too.
But again, it's relative. I mean, if I play in the NFL, I have access to 8s, 9s, and
Options.
10s. So switching around to 8, 9s, and 10s, that's not a big deal to me because
Right,
I have
that's what I'm
access to
saying.
a lot of them.
A lot of them, right?
Yeah,
She
that's
said,
like me bragging on having access
Tamika,
to
let me ask
3s,
you.
4s, and 5s. I mean,
So
that's
a
not
man that
big
has
deal.
$200 million in the bank countersues a massage therapist that has $1,200 in the bank. What exactly is he going to get out of that countersuit other than his name?
It's that's similar to the
Countersuit for
argument of
defamation. What is he going to get to make it even?
it's not
because she won't do it to anybody else.
right. It doesn't get to. It's about the integrity of the situation.
Right.
It's a
And-
deterrent.
Right.
For other people, it's like locking up, giving one guy life. I'm like, it
But it's
may
a
not
civil-
deter him.
it's a
He's
civil
already
law.
done.
Look,
If he
Miles.
can- he
It's
can-
the
but
same
deter other
reason.
people.
It's the same reason some women will put a deadbeat on child support just in case he makes some money one day.
Obviously,
and it's mine.
she's obviously
if she ever comes into some money
obviously they
and
prove
that
it.
person wins,
If she had the ability to make that money, she wouldn't be trying to get fake money out of him.
no, you never know. That's the thing. Some people, just because you don't have no money today don't mean you won't have no money in 10 years, 20 years, won't mean you won't have any inheritance coming. See, you got to think that's what really ends up happening.
Right.
They'll do it because, people get inheritance. You might get in a car accident, fuck around. Larry H. Parker got
Give
me
me my money.
$1.2
I mean,
million.
this same-
He
No.
got us 1.2
I mean, you have a lot of a similar situation would be like paternity fraud. Women lie all the time. Tyrone, that's your baby.
Shit, why it's always me with the baby?
You know,
But that could be proven.
And the tax fraud.
eventually,
Tyrone,
You
tax
right now.
fraud, and
You know,
babies.
That's my baby. Let's go ahead and
Damn,
talk
they
about
do
it.
me dirty.
like, nah, I can't. We just, again, it's the accusation of it, because we know how we know how things work now. A lot of times we don't even need proof.
Tamika
It's
said
just
his name.
public accusations.
Tamika, I
enough.
agree with you. We just talk about this. Yeah, his name will be technically, quote unquote, cleared in public, but there are going to be some people who are always going to be tied to it, and they're going to still. His name is still always going to be tainted in some form or
But
fashion.
that getting it cleared helps.
It does
especially
help.
Even
No,
in
it
his
does help.
career.
Right.
Because they play real dirty in the NFL. Even if he kind of know he didn't do it, they still going to be like, but DeShaun, remember back in
there
2021?
there should be some,
Or
or even if there's some type of civil inquiry and they come out in public and say, okay, the state of Texas or whatever has, done an inquiry and we have found no evidence that this shit ever happened. There's maybe no no charges against her, but there is a public declaration that there's no evidence that this ever happened.
Yeah. Okay, Jay, were you serious?
Not saying you didn't do it.
Are you pulling my leg? He really walked in.
No.
And she seen his dick and passed out.
That's what she said. That's exactly what she said. She saw him halfway covered right here.
Hey, women,
she passed the fuck out.
Is there any women out there that's ever seen a dude naked and decided to like pass out
and shit on yourself?
And just shit on yourself?
She would think she the baddest thing ever.
Hey, put a 1 in the chat for yes and 2 for no.
Speaking of,
are there any ones in the chat?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Speaking of babies.
Oh
shit.
You mean little babies?
Fuck.
Little babies.
What?
It's always a motherfucker with Lil in the front of his name.
Oh,
This
man.
is not going to end well.
What's going on with
Lil Nas X?
Lil Nas X, man? What's going on, man?
Now you brought this. I think you posted this. You brought this to my attention. I think I saw it was either you. I think it was you, Jay. You posted with the Air Max. Yeah.
Well, that didn't have nothing
that
to
has
do
a
with,
drop of blood in
but it didn't have nothing to do with Nike.
It had nothing to do with
No,
Nike.
it did not.
Yeah.
And then Nike is suing him.
Yeah.
Nike also shut it down already. They've already shut down and allowed to do it. Because it is, they're just buying Air Max and customizing them
Right.
aftermarket.
Right.
Here's my Lil Nas. You want to hear?
I didn't see the video. Did anybody see that video?
No, I saw the screenshots of the video.
Okay.
Baby Brown over there saw it.
I saw the screenshot.
He said it was an artistic jewel.
So
he didn't say that.
So Lil Nas X getting.
He didn't say that.
So Lil Nas X getting bent over by the devil is artistic jewel.
He didn't say that. He didn't say that.
He twerked on the devil.
He did more than twerk on the devil. He did more than that. So here's my Lil Nas X 2 cents. This is my theory on Lil Nas X.
All right.
One, we all know his talent level is low as fuck. Right? Let's go there. His talent level is low as fuck.
We agree on that. Yeah.
2, when that song went big as fuck, that was an accident. It was some shit he threw out there on YouTube because he wasn't even trying to be a real fucking artist, right?
Right.
He threw this shit out there on YouTube, and it went big as fuck. He was sleeping on his mama's couch. It went big as fuck, and he was like, "Oh shit, I got to do something," right? He had like 5 or 6 more songs, nowhere near as good, right?
One hit wonder shit.
Oh, no doubt.
He's the one that won.
But he, at that point, it showed to me, one, his talent level was low. We were talking about that. He doesn't really have a genre, right? Like, country music is not taking this dude.
They didn't want it.
They didn't want him. Hip hop don't want
He
it.
don't want you, nigga.
No black.
Well, he don't want hip hop. He don't do hip hop.
But I'm saying, but there's nowhere for him to fall.
think.
I don't think. So I personally don't know if he's gay or not. I really don't care. But I think that he tried to tap into a genre. He tried to make the LGBTQ community his genre. And he tried to ride that shit out. But then all of a sudden,
they're not fucking with him either.
no,
They fucking with it.
Then 15 seconds of fame on that song was gone.
Right.
So now he had to have another hit. He had to take it to another level
Right.
of getting other people. So now he Donald Trump this shit out, which basically meant that he found an underworld of people who needed somebody to get behind. And he decided, I'm going to ride that shit out, and I'm going to make that a popular thing.
He realizes that you don't need everybody. You just need a certain amount of people who's going to buy into what you're saying to do.
You know, it's funny because I saw him when he did the shop. He was on LeBron's show on HBO with Gronk and a couple other guys. And I mean, I heard him talking. Seemed like an intelligent kid, you know.
No, I saw that show. You saw the kid on that too. I agree with you.
Yeah.
This is my
That's
thing.
when I believed he wasn't gay because there are times when he's in the camera, he's very feminine and flamboyant, but sitting on that show in the shop, he wasn't at all.
This is
He
what I'm
wasn't.
saying. I don't think people understand the level of detail and planning that goes into a lot of these things that happen with celebrities. A lot of this shit is stunts. And even if we look at the video and all that, you got to look at the planning that went into all of that. So just to have the light shine a certain direction to give off certain effects that you want people to feel, you have to plan how do you want these people to feel.
Right.
All of this shit is contrived. And I said it earlier, it took us 15 minutes of fame to an hour.
Right.
Most people that I have spoken to, I can't say about everybody, but I don't know a song that he's made. I haven't heard this particular song. I've heard the
we heard the
country
first song,
country
though, right?
road song. That's it. And so he is he's surviving off of publicity stunts, off of stunts.
So you think? I think you came out and said, he's trolling.
Yeah, he's trolling. He's Tekashi 6ix9ine and Marilyn Manson mixed together.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And he has a team of people that's helping him do. He's not doing this by himself. This takes a whole team effort. This is a huge team.
So he
of
wasn't
people.
just sitting at home one night like, man, I'm gonna make some custom Air Max.
Right, 666 pair with a drop of blood, and then they got the pentagram or whatever printed on it.
Right.
I think people forget to look at the sheer work that goes into some of these things. It takes a lot of work and planning and moving things forward for that to happen.
My niece said, Guy said, I feel like he didn't act that way in the shop because some gay men have to do a sort of code switch.
That could be true.
And there's some to that. But the thing is, when you've already outed yourself, there's no point in code switching at that point.
Yeah.
Right? Like, there's like
especially when you're applauded for it.
Right.
He was applauded for it.
He was applauded
and
for
they
it.
would have been just fine with it.
Right.
They would have been just fine
Yeah, the
with
guys on the shop with him, they didn't care. Shit, they were just having a conversation.
And they would have actually allowed him the space to speak on it, actually. You know what I'm saying? If he'd have done that.
Yeah, tell you the truth.
Tell you the truth.
Well,
They did ask him why now.
your cord is, you got to hold it or something. Them brand new cord.
They did ask him why now. Like, why come out now at this point, after you've gotten what you wanted to get from your career and stuff. And I don't remember exactly what he said about it, but I think it was to the effect that he was just tired of, sitting in the dark on him being bisexual.
He did it after the Country Road song, right?
Yes.
Right.
So
Yeah,
after the Sesame Street, after the school tours, after
right.
getting all into the kids' heads and this,
Right.
that, and the third, then he did it. Right, I get it. That's what I mean when I say people don't understand the planning.
What goes into
that
this
goes
shit.
into this type of stuff on such a massive level.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? What he is doing is taking teams of people. And what they're going after is what you said. Is it, or I think Delvin said it, just a target demographic.
Right.
And so he knows exactly what he's doing. I'm like you. I don't really know if he's really gay or not, and I'm not.
Right.
Even if he is or if he's not.
And this kind of
but
touched
that's a
on-
hell of a thing to go after because that's a great audience. They paying for
Right.
shit.
Yeah, and it's when you kind of touched on this
And
last
on
week
top
when we
of the
talked
fact
about
that
it.
they paying, you can't speak against it.
Yeah.
No.
That's
Yeah.
the one
And
audience
he's
you
black.
can't speak against.
And he's gay.
So he's made himself a double.
He's
minority.
insulated.
You inoculate yourself, and I think you talked about this last week when we were kind of talking about the entertainment industry and artists. None of this stuff is happening without the sign off of his publicist.
Nobody. It's not at all.
Right.
It's not his label, publicist. If he's an independent artist, it take even more money to do that, and he would have to be paying it for it himself,
Right.
which would be an investment. So I don't think he paid for all this himself.
Right.
And that's just from what I'm getting just from just watching
He
it.
didn't put 666
No, this is
in
a
the
play.
checkout and then put his Chase
Yeah,
debit card in there.
Miles, how much just like estimated do you think it'll cost to customize 666 pair
First
of
of
Air
all,
Force Ones?
That wasn't
with
Air Force Ones. Those Air Max
Air
97s.
Max 97s.
Air
and-
Max 97s cost $190. So let's start. There's $200 a piece for each
Just
one of
off
those
the
shoes.
top.
Off
Right.
the top.
$190.
Yeah,
Damn.
Air Max 97.
I had a
That's
few that
$190.
were $150, but I get
That's
it.
back in the day. Nowadays
Yeah.
they $190.
Damn.
So, you got that, and then you have the customization part. But the customization part he wasn't going to pay for. That was actually the company who was doing the customization was going to pay for that, and they split the profits. But I don't know what that would be. I mean, I don't know how much it costs to customize a shoe. I'm pretty sure it doesn't cost a whole lot.
200
We're looking at-
times
Right.
that's $133,000
It's in shoes, yeah.
for 666 pair of shoes.
Right. And I don't know.
And that's
Independent artist.
and that's ballparking it, and that's without
That's crazy.
So I
That's
don't
no
know if
tax
it's
involved.
independent. So customizing those little pentagrams
sure the
or
shipping
whatever
is
those
free.
was.
I don't know what that. I don't know what that costs. Right.
Yeah, even if the company is going in on it,
Right.
it's still
A
an
cost.
investment.
Right.
And they're not going to do that if they don't feel they're going to make
their
that money.
back. Without a doubt.
Yeah, adding a drop of blood to each shoe and all this shit.
All that, but at the same
And who's
time,
giving them the blood? I don't believe the blood. I
but
know
at
it's
the
real
same
blood.
time,
I don't know
do
it's
you
real
guys
blood.
think people are being a little hypocritical, or is it because of open gayness? Because I mentioned this to someone else. You guys don't remember DMX sitting there with the blood all on him on his album cover?
I mean,
and-
is it a
I
drop
don't think
of,
it's the blood. I think it's more about
is it a drop of his blood?
The devil
I mean,
worship.
because we can
The
figure
devil-
out how
and the
how
devil-
much-
the
what
devil's
album was that
connotations.
when Lil
Blood
Wayne and them he was sitting in the bathtub with the blood and the women had the snake eyes. This was just a few years ago.
The Rebirth album.
Lil Wayne, y'all don't remember that?
remember that.
That was all
but
that.
see, Mr. DMX, Blood on My Blood. That
Blood
was
on My Blood, Blood on My Blood.
right. DMX was a devout. He's
that's
still
a Christian reference, though.
Right. That's not a.
So who was Damien?
Damien is his alter ego.
Damien's alter
And
ego.
what was his alter ego telling him to do?
No, and he said so. DMX was on the Drink Champs, and he said he put Damien to sleep forever. What he was saying was, it was just a reference to the fact that he had two sides, like we all do, right?
Right.
I guess his
Damien
alter
was
ego
the-
wasn't John the Baptist.
Right.
No, right.
He said, "I sold my soul to the devil, and the price was cheap."
Right. So what he said,
Right.
but it wasn't devil himself. To him, the devil
that was
was
the years he was on that board.
Oh,
But
the
what
devil
I'm
was the
saying is-
drugs and all that stuff. It was a reference.
We're
This
listening to
dude is
this at
speaking on
14, 15 years old, though, and like now when we're 40 and he's 50, he's coming
When he
out
said
saying
people
it.
sell their soul to the devil when they signed too big of a contract, the wrong people.
But when it come out of their
right.
mouth, when Biggie died, he was coming out with a clothing line. The clothing line, what was on the logo? 666. Biggie
No.
said, "My real name Lucifer. First name
Hold on.
Christopher.
Digga-
Last name
hold on.
Lucifer."
Fuck that shit.
These
What Biggie
references
say?
have been there.
What Biggie say? I don't want to go to heaven. I want to go to
to hell.
because I'm a piece of shit.
Can't fucking tell.
Fuck going to heaven with all the goodies
Goodies.
and white.
Yeah.
I like black Timbs and black hoodies. Like, no, I get that reference. You know
That's what I'm saying.
But I think
Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Bone Thugs and Harmony. I think a lot of that, some of it is played in. I agree with you. I
Right.
think some of it is a reference to a lifestyle they're trying to get out of. They know that this isn't a great lifestyle. Trying to
Right.
move on to. So I think that's part of it. I don't think any of it was as far as I think what Lil Nas X is doing. It goes into back to what rock and roll was doing real hard in the '80s, right? With the whole Ozzy Osbourne shit.
That's exactly what I
You know what I'm
said.
saying? Like that was a thing back then to promote that. You could promote remember the rock. Remember back in rock.
I wouldn't be able, but like I'm saying, these moves, you got to understand, this isn't stuff that independent artists are doing. And if you're an independent artist and you're putting out that type of budget, and you're going to get the return, but it costs so much in the beginning to do it.
Right.
Labels be behind this. It be
Right.
minds moving in this, but I agree with you 150,000% that this is something that we've seen kind of descend and come from
Right.
that old heavy metal culture. Remember Ozzy Osbourne bit the head off the back?
I was gonna
in the
say, yeah,
concert?
right in concert,
Yeah,
right.
so this is the type of shit that, and they were in, Baby Brown said it earlier, like just tapping into a darkness. And so it's like, so now we're seeing it, but we've also seen sprinkles of it in
But
hip-hop.
also, and
It's been there.
It's been there.
but there's also a darkness culture. Like there's a whole underground suburb, people who live that life all the time, and I really believe that he was trying to tap into that. Make
Yeah,
them-
I don't think
make
anything
them
that we've
fans.
experienced in hip hop on that level remotely compares to
Right.
what the hell he did.
Yeah, no. He went above
Yeah.
and beyond. Let me ask you guys this. What you think, Delvin? Now, he's extended this 15 minutes of fame to an hour. What is he going to do to top this?
Shit, that. I wasn't expecting this. You got me.
What is he going to do to top this? That's the thing about it. Once you start doing it.
Shock value.
Shock value.
Yeah.
Somebody else named 2 more songs that he's made.
Never.
I couldn't.
I can't.
It's
can't
just,
name- what's the first
it's
song?
just
What's the name
like
of that song?
Tekashi. Look, these people are
Old
wild.
Town-
now
Old
it's
Town
more-
Road.
So would you say now it's more about him being a character
Exactly.
as opposed to being an artist?
Exactly. There's a lot of artists like that here in Houston. Sauce Walker. Most people know more about his antics than his music.
Right.
But that's just that's the generation now.
Right. It's
just-
antics.
It's antics. Like you have to. Somebody has to be tied to you as a person before they're tied to you as your talent.
Right,
And that's
right.
That's what social
These
media.
people are getting
Yeah.
big, and they call themselves artists, and people don't know none of their songs.
So now that we've I've had my 15 minutes of fame, I'm extending it to an hour, but I'm extending it to an hour to get clicks, to get likes.
Right.
I think him and Billy Porter are going to do a twerk video on Big Bird.
Get the fuck out of here.
That's inappropriate.
Where did Billy Porter come from?
Because he does the same things. Like he tried to outdo himself to get attention every time.
Right.
And I'm just looking at the way that it moved. The way that it
Right.
moved. Like this is what I'm trying to tell you. How these meetings go. This is how this. So what are we going to do next? So we could get with that person because they kind of agree with it. It aligns. They have a big fan base.
Right.
You can't go against that person either.
Right.
And they're both this and they're both. And you know what? They're speaking up for the gay kids. And
Yeah.
it's
Right.
empowerment. And they can shock the world. And you add Big Bird just to throw in the controversy.
Right, right, right.
This is how this shit is made.
Right.
That's how the gumbo is made.
Lady Gaga
they gotta
does the
pay me
same
for
thing,
that
but
if they
she
do
didn't
it
take it
too.
to this level. Lady Gaga, I don't know Lady Gaga. Maybe I'll pitch this on.
Oh, she was going far with it too.
But did she go to this level? I mean, I don't pay attention hard enough.
What they're doing is they're outdoing the algorithm. If Twitter and Instagram was now where it was then, she would have
All right, so can I
outdone
say
it.
this though?
Yeah.
Can I say this though? The difference for me, and I don't know enough about it. Lady Gaga doesn't appeal to the black male community. Lady Gaga does not appeal to the black community in general.
She doesn't appeal to what?
To the black community in general.
Oh, okay.
Lady Gaga hits a.
But she appealed to her target audience, was to your point.
Yeah.
No, without a doubt. Which is mostly going to be 90-something% white, right? Like they have the
And
when you're
people
the
into that darkness.
right? But which are mostly going to be inside the white category, mostly. Not saying it's only, mostly.
Who like this little Nas stuff?
That's going to be them, but the difference is this: there's something to visual images, right? Visual. When you control the images, you control the mind. So the people that relate to her image are the majority. Not saying the majority of people relate to her message. What I'm saying is they're in the majority. They're white. They're in the majority. So
Right.
if it's 1 million white people that relate to her versus 1 million black kids that relate to him, it's a different pull into the community, right? Because the image is being put out there. And the thing is, for our community, we've always been targeted, whether it be drugs or whether it be making us drug dealers or making us gay or making women whores. Like we've always been targeted through media and music. We've been targeted by companies. The white people, that's extra shit. People just whatever. They write it off like, oh, they're just going through a time. With us, they target us to ruin us, and that's the difference. And that's why it's fine. Lady Gaga can do whatever. Ozzy Osbourne did it. All the people did it. But it didn't.
But did they send them on the kids' concert tour first?
Not at all.
Because they really did that with Little Nas X.
Did.
He went on like a junior high school tour.
Wow.
And then buzzed out, guess what? I'm gay.
Kids,
you know what I'm saying?
Kids
You
didn't
got the
hit the
kids'
elementary
attention.
school.
So now the kids are like, remember the cowboy? He's stripping for the devil.
Right.
Your parents can't stop that because they're gonna leave their presence.
Wearing
and
me-
see somebody
Ozzy
that
wasn't
they
hitting
like.
the elementary school circuit.
Yeah,
To me, I remember
that's deep.
I remember when Lady Gaga had baloney on her jacket. That is not compared
The
to
baloney
this.
jacket. No, I get what she's
I
saying.
said the
Lady
shock
Gaga
value.
was
No,
out
she's the
there
king of shock.
with
I got queen of shock
value,
I
hands down.
give
and
that-
she's saying that it's not new.
No, we know it's not new.
It's
I
not-
mean,
it's not new.
Way back, it's not new.
And for a long time, we have been talking about if we really gonna go there about how like the worship and all this stuff is like behind closed doors.
Right.
But we would always say it's in plain sight. People used to accuse Jay-Z and Beyonce of all the Baphomet
Illuminati and all
symbols
shit.
and
Illuminati.
Which is
So-
crazy shit to
Well,
me.
no,
It's
but a
fucking
lot of that
nuts.
shit they work. If you look at symbolism and stuff, oh please, Jay-Z would acquiesce to that stuff and throw stuff in there to say it to make you think it. They all tap into it a little bit just because even if it's not true, it's intriguing and it's something that they know you're gonna listen to.
Just get
Jay-Z
people
would throw
talking.
lyrics in there like that and shit
Jay-Z
too.
would.
I just think sometimes it's a
Your
cop
name
out
is Jehovah.
for black success. It's to accuse them of being the Illuminati.
No. I don't think the Illuminati want them niggas. This is what I'm saying. They're playing into the mysticism of it. They're playing into Lil Wayne do it. You've seen they'll do it.
Hold up. Is it playing to it? And I'm not saying you're wrong. Is it playing to it, or is it y'all say this shit? Haha, that's what it would look like, a joke at you, like, you know what I'm saying, sarcasm back at you?
I don't think so. I don't think it's like a joke because they don't play it to it like a joke. They almost give the error as if this is what I'm doing. But
Right, almost
let me
It's
show you. Illuminati don't want
to
Lil Wayne.
another level that we talked about
They
before.
kick him out at the door.
You know, it's to another level we
No, you
talked
want
about.
Illuminati. Fuck that shit.
You're creating a narrative.
Yeah, for yourself,
Right, right.
and you're going with this narrative of this secret. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, secret society.
Yeah,
and
it's
shit.
just something that you just do, and you're tapping into those people. They have all done it. Jay-Z threw them lyrics in there and answer questions crazy. What do you believe in? Well, the pictures with Aleister Crowley and all this shit. Jay-Z know what he doing. They do this shit, and she wrote books on devil
But
worship.
is he responding to the criticism by
When
like,
remember
putting
in the
on his axis,
remember,
like, just kinda
like
remember in the
putting
height
his
of
race.
it, he had just dropped little like he's playing into it at that point. Let me keep y'all watching. Let me keep you listening. And what Jay-Z is great with is he'll drop it as a subliminal. So now you got to listen to the whole damn album to hear him say maybe one thing that he might not say on this one, he might say on the next one, so those people listening for it listen on the next one. Y'all don't remember how that deep that was? People was all in the weeds.
Oh yeah, no
videos. And
they're doing everybody. I got you.
Yeah, y'all gotta stress that dollar. That's what they gotta stress that dollar.
Right.
And even if it's pretending to kind of worship the devil or whatever the fuck it is, they gonna do it and then come out and repent. But this, that, the third. But Baby Brown was talking about manifestation. I do believe that the more you put certain shit out there,
more come back.
You got to watch out.
And it's going to always be copycatters.
You got to watch out. So even if he don't mean it, he might be stripping for the devil one day. Even if he didn't mean it. Come here, boy.
So what are you guys thinking of the stick so far, man? I mean, I'm 3/4.
I was actually about to say it's a good conversation piece because I was about to get. I'm at the end right now. It's burning real even. This is my second time smoking this stick, and it's got that chalky chocolate. Well, not chocolate, more mocha, but chalky in a sense. I do like. There's another stick that I like that has this chalky vibe, and that's Steve Saka's first blend has that chalky vibe.
Mesa?
The Sombra Mesa.
Yeah.
It has that vibe too. So I like the stick. I like it a lot. I don't know what y'all think.
Yeah.
Right.
What you think about the stick, though? What you say?
I'm enjoying it. It's a good even burn, nice smoke. I definitely will put this in my rotation. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. I'm glad when the news be in the hood, they be like, here, what'd you say? I don't know what happened. Like the June bug.
Yeah.
We ain't only got June bug.
right.
So,
right.
as far as the stick goes, it's cool. I mean,
you want to be in the podcast? You smoke cigars?
No, but I work at Sticks, and I know a little bit about the
take a roll of
Well, we doing the podcast about cigars, and so we reviewing this cigar.
I like Cuban, but you don't want to do with a Cuban cigar?
What?
I'll break that bitch down. I'll put dope with it.
No, you don't. He say I put dodo in a cube. How you keep the leaf together?
For real.
Did you go get one and show? I don't. Go get one. But hey, let us finish the show. Hold on. Let us finish the show.
Let him finish. Come on.
Let us finish.
This is their thing. We're interrupting them.
Let us finish. We know how to roll a blunt. Let us finish.
oh, hold on. Tamika. So that's actually a good question. Tamika asked, "Is it a deal breaker if you date a woman that doesn't smoke?"
No.
It's not a deal breaker.
No.
Nah. So
It's funny you mentioned that.
No, we will in a second.
No.
So Tamika, me
My
personally,
woman, she don't smoke.
I'm at a point right now where it's 50-50 both ways on whether I want a woman.
I would fucking leave because I'm gonna call the cops because my friend just got fucking raped by some fucking Mexican in there.
All right. Well, call
I'm
him.
gonna fucking call the cops.
You should
You
call
should
him.
absolutely do
I
that.
don't know what to say about that.
I don't know.
So on today on Sticks and Shit Talk.
Yeah.
Yo,
Never a dull moment on Sticks and Shit Talk.
all right. So
Sorry, guys.
sorry,
We're back.
we're back.
We're back.
So
We'll edit that out.
back
No,
to
it's not. It's there.
No, it can't. It's there.
Oh, it's live.
So
That's
Liquor
goddamn live.
is a fucked up thing. We talked
This
about
shit's really
this.
live. So is it a deal breaker? So I'm 50-50 on whether I want to date someone who does smoke or they don't smoke, right?
Yeah.
Because I think it's cool to be able to share that time.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Did y'all hear what she said in my mic? She said my friend got raped by a Mexican in there. But this is a teachable moment. I want you to know
it's
that.
best that you niggas leave.
Yeah,
before
I
the
think
police
it's best
show up.
that you niggas leave because I know it's gonna happen to you niggas. And also, it's another teachable moment. Mexicans, they don't like y'all either. Go ahead.
So
I didn't catch none of that.
Yeah, that's exactly what she said.
I think it's best you leave because my friend got raped by a
got
Mexican.
raped by a Mexican.
And I'm calling the police.
Like, what does his race have to do with the act?
And what does that do with me?
I was wondering why we were included in that
Yeah,
So
I don't know.
I
Well,
have
to
no
let
idea.
us know that
Yeah.
the police is coming. So
So you
she.
might want to get the fuck out of Dodge
Yeah,
before
but
they
see,
start checking your
but that's
licenses.
why it's teachable because when they're mad at somebody else, they
all-
always
all-
get along with niggas. Now they're like, wait a
Right.
minute, let me warn the niggas because you don't like Mexicans
Hey.
right now. But
Hey, well,
but
good
the
thing-
thing is, they
good
don't
thing we-
like you either.
Hey,
Go
good thing
ahead.
we got
Sorry
an
about that.
alibi. We got a timestamp live stream. So I ain't going
What
nowhere.
time is it? At 8:44 on April 1st.
I mean,
So
All right. So here's the deal. So back to what we were talking about.
the fuck is she talking about?
I don't know. No, why you? It's over, bro. I'm not,
Don't she keep looking back and pointing and shit? And like, I mean, I'm trying to figure
See,
out.
now she got us showing up.
right, look at
What the fuck did we do?
Nothing. We're not part of it. Let's get back to these people. These people we're part
We're
of.
podcasting while black.
Right. So here's the deal. Back to my point.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Back to what we
We
were
had
saying.
Drunky Brewster earlier.
I don't fucking
Right.
know.
So I'm half and half on that because I think it's great to be able to have someone who
We
understands.
didn't rape the bitch. I mean,
yeah, I mean,
Jay, shut up, nigga. Shut up. We done. Shut up, bro.
he just wanted to get it on the record. That's all.
So 50-50 on what? Because
sorry.
For the record.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
you say?
No, I'm sorry. I'm good.
Are you good?
I'm good.
You good?
I'm good.
All right. So
As you were, Mr. Miles.
50-50 on whether I want to date someone who smokes or doesn't. I think it's dope to have someone who understands that.
So
With-
all
the
things,
question
so
was
all
cigars,
things being
guys.
equal.
So hold on, we'll get to that in a second. Because I think it's cool to have somebody who understands and relate with. On the other side, I think it's also cool when she doesn't smoke because a lot of smoking time that I spend is by myself. That's my time to chill in the day, think,
You smoke
listen to
with,
music.
You smoke with your
get-
fish?
I definitely smoke. Feed me in the fish smoke all the time, bro. So, huh?
You got some more?
I got some more. So, we
Fucking awkward nigga.
yo, bro, whatever. So yeah, it doesn't matter either way to me, honestly. I mean, we deal with it at the time. I think it's more about respecting the fact that I smoke.
Right.
Is the most important.
And not
fact.
trying to change you.
Not trying to change it and make it seem like that's something that can't happen, because that's a battle you're probably not going to win. And the reason I say you're not going to win that battle is because you're going to bring it up way too early. My feelings are
Yeah.
going to be tied to you're going to bring it up way too early to win that battle.
Right.
We got interrupted earlier, but what was your take on the stick? I didn't hear that part. You just thought it was okay.
Barely okay. I'm not a big fan of it.
Not a big fan.
Not a big fan of it.
Okay.
And as far as smoking anything, guys, so weed smokers, cigarette smokers, cigar smokers. We're not. I appreciate that, guy. That was a perfect segue. We're not we. They aren't all created equal, and they aren't all seen equal.
Don't forget about the vapors.
The vapors, they're not.
It's a different vibe. Too.
Right. The hookahs is all different smokers, all created equal. Are they the same? Do we view them the same? Do we have more respect, less respect? I'll tell you this off the bat. Don't come to the cigar lounge smoking anything but a cigar. Like, if you come in smoking a cigarette, you're going to get ran out of there. You come in there smoking a hookah, you're going to get ran out of there. You come in here smoking weed, you're going to get ran out of there. Vaping, you're going to get ran out of there.
Newport.
That's the space. None of that shit.
None of that shit.
None of that shit. Cigar smokers, we respect weed smokers because honestly, a lot of cigar smokers are
No,
weed
they
smokers.
don't. They be snooty. They over there smoking that weed.
The devil's
Nah, man.
They're
Nah.
smoking that weed.
Cigar smokers and weed smokers.
You guys-
they fuck with each other.
They smoking
Fuck with
weed.
each other. Cigar smokers and weed, not this kind of weed smoker though. Too.
That was crack.
Chopping up a Cuban.
That was
That was meth. I don't know
Yeah.
what the
That
fuck
was mad. That was mad.
But that wasn't not that. But
Do not buy anything from that guy.
right,
Not even a vacuum.
nothing, nothing. So we
so-
fuck with weed smokers.
Do you-
We fuck with hookah smokers.
Okay, do you think, some cigar smokers,
'Cause hookah
to
smokers
me,
be ki-
since there is a level of etiquette that goes into some cigar smoking, like, okay, for the people that say, I only want to smoke at lounges that play very soft, very mellow, I want to think,
Right.
I don't want to, I think people who feel like that feel they're pretentious already, I think that they look down on weed smokers.
I don't, because that pretentious weed smoker is the old white man been smoking weed his whole life.
That act like he don't.
Right, they been
And
smoking weed their whole
put
life.
down weed smokers while he's smoking
Smoking
on
weed.
his cigar, and then go light up smoke his bowl on the way home. I think it's like in certain aspects and certain people, I think it's just it's culturally
There are
acceptable to
certain
look
parts
down
of the
on
world
weed
too,
smokers.
because I know in like the United Arab Emirates, they're big on hash and they're big on hookah, but they're also big on cigars.
Right.
Yeah.
Tamika asked about tobacco pipes. Tamika, tobacco pipes and cigars are in the same category. You can buy a lot of tobacco pipes and tobacco for pipes in cigar lounges. And a lot of people do smoke pipes in cigar lounges. So they're about the same.
Yeah.
They're the same. It's just a different type of tobacco.
Right.
There's a lot more flavor different. It's a different
It's
type.
better. It's different.
I have a pipe and I never use it because
it's too much work.
It's too much work.
It's a
Like
lot
when
of
I'm done
fucking work.
smoking, I just want to toss it out. I don't want to have to clean the shit and
I don't want to have to
dig it out. I mean, it's
Dig
just
it out.
patting it down.
Yeah,
and
pat
getting
it in,
right
and it's just
But
too much
a
work.
lot of our friends that we smoke cigars with will smoke a cigar, put it down, and pull out a pipe and smoke at the same time while we sitting there. So that's pretty chill. Nobody's really big on that.
Yeah, the pipe shit. Just
Now you cigarette smokers.
fuck y'all.
Yeah, y'all, yeah.
I'm gonna just be honest.
The weed smokers don't even like y'all.
Right.
Y'all
Y'all down
motherfuckers.
there with the crackheads and shit.
Y'all deserve every bit of the obstacle, Lord, put in your
Sounds
path.
like you remember Dave Chappelle's last stand up. He's on the LGBTQ community.
That's exactly.
And he's
Talking about the tees.
all of them in the car together.
All of them in the car together.
And he say the transgenders like
The trans.
don't nobody like that.
But hey, check this out.
I was actually about to say that shit.
Have you guys ran
"Ew,
across
they
any
nasty."
establishments? Like there's a couple of places here in Houston where, like patio spots similar to this, where I've been there and they'll say, they say it's smoking friendly, but then I pull out my cigars. Oh, you can smoke cigarettes here, but not cigars.
Yeah,
You guys
I think
experienced any of that?
I've experienced that. I think that's because in those places they aren't used to cigar smoke, and I think they also don't like how heavy cigar smoke is. Tamika, I understand. I love to smell a pipe. I think the smell of a pipe
pipes
is
smell great.
they're amazing
Depending on the
awesome.
wood,
And
too.
also, speaking of smells, a lot of people who don't smoke cigars will love the smell of cigars without smoking it, but they smell something different than we do when we smoke it. It's two whole different smells. And to the point now where I smoke enough cigars, if I sit around you, I'm going to smell it as a smoker, not as a non-smoker.
Right.
Because non-smoker gets a different feel off of it than we do. 'Cause I remember I used to smell it that way when I had an uncle who smoked cigars, right? So I used to, he smoked, it smelled totally different. He had he wasn't smoking sweet cigars, but kind of like a sweet kind of feel to it, as opposed to me smoking a cigar.
I can smell certain cigars when they're in the room without even knowing what the hell somebody's smoking. Now,
Get the fuck out of here.
I'll smell certain.
So you tell me you can walk into the room and be like, oh, he's smoking a number 9.
Yeah, it just depends on not a number 9.
I mean, I'm saying, but
there's certain
certain
sticks
certain
I
cigars.
can smell.
You
I can
pick the
smell
brand out,
Tatiana
yeah.
like that and be like, I'm getting the fuck out of here.
I can absolutely smell a underground shade when it's being smoked.
Really?
Absolutely. I can smell a Partagas 160 when it's being smoked by anybody. It gives off a certain smoke and
You
scent.
are a crackhead.
I'm serious. I can smell. There's certain
You are a
sticks.
simp, bro. You are.
There's certain
you
sticks
are
if I walk into a
Yeah,
lounge.
speaking of simps, we should talk about one week how you shouldn't do that.
When I walk into a lounge and I can tell from time to time you smoking this. I smell it.
Fuck. You should have a whole new fucking job making a ton of money. You should
Why?
make $1 million off that nose, nigga.
Really?
Fuck yeah. If you walk in and say,
He
yo,
just
he's
called him a basset hound.
Some of our palates are very defined. And our
cigar
noses,
whisperer.
you know what
What kind
I'm
of
saying?
shit is
Yeah.
No, I can really smell
Are you
some
fucking
shit.
He got
kidding me?
sensitive nose hairs. He
Has
can,
anybody ever done that?
I ain't never cut my nose hairs ever.
I've been smoking cigars for 10 years.
I
I've
got
never heard anybody
electrolytes
say
on my
that
nose
shit.
hairs.
In a decade, I've never heard anybody say no shit like that before in my life.
Really?
Never.
I honestly didn't know that was uncommon.
I can
I really didn't.
I can smell that.
I didn't think
That's
that was
my
uncommon.
father.
Who got the Fuente? Who got the Fuente?
It's not even Friday.
God damn.
Right.
I really didn't think that was uncommon before
Who's
tonight.
smoking a Fuente on a Wednesday? God damn it.
Y'all fucking up the
Tired of this
rotation.
shit.
Right. But cigarette, going back, like ladies, it's nothing more sexy than watching a lady smoke a cigar.
I don't say it's nothing more sexy. But
I would say nothing more
it is
sexy.
sexy.
When you're in the lounge, and you see a lady.
you do it properly, it's
Ladies
sexy.
who smoke cigars.
are beautiful.
Shout out,
just sex.
shout out to them.
Shout out to the lady cigar smokers. But when you light up them fucking cancer sticks, I don't want to be nowhere around you.
No,
I don't fuck with the cancer sticks.
no.
Yes, we're being judgmental.
Yeah,
We are
I
being-
don't
Yeah,
fuck with
yeah,
ladies.
yeah.
I don't fuck with ladies. who
We
smoke-
are being
smoke
haughty.
cancer
Yeah,
sticks.
yeah, you know. Yeah.
I don't do that part
Yeah.
at all. I look, y'all can do it, but you know another thing about us, for the viewers is we're not going outside in 10 degrees to light up a cigar, motherfucker.
Until the freeze happened, I did. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was
What?
on the fucking patio.
See, you
bro.
can
12
never
degrees
speak
on
for
my patio
everybody.
smoking.
Shit.
I did.
Well, that's traditionally not a cigar
I did
smoker.
too.
I agree with that. Just
I wouldn't have
We
backed
don't
you
do
up.
that shit.
But I did. So
We would not be smoking in the tundra.
Tamika just
No,
asked,
no.
"What do you drink with cigars, Scotch?" So everybody has their own preference, right? We've talked about this before. Let's talk. What do you drink with your sticks?
I love whiskey.
He's a whiskey guy.
Whiskey, bourbon, scotch,
Yeah.
chai, coffee.
I
Depends on what I'm smoking.
I had chai latte this morning with a stick. It was great.
Yeah.
What about you? What you like to smoke?
All of those or water.
I'm a big water guy. I'm a big
Cognac.
cognac.
Yeah.
He's a cognac guy.
Oh, even I forgot water and Coke.
Yeah.
water, Coke, Dr. Pepper too.
Coke, Dr. Pepper. Yeah.
Wine, red wine, depending on the stick, will work a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm a big water guy, mineral water and regular water.
I know a couple of vodka drinkers.
Some people drink. Some people like champagne with that stick. It's a personal preference.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is a personal preference, but there's far more of the brown liquors involved in cigar smoking
It is.
than it
Yeah.
is the clears.
Why is that? Why?
I think
why
they pair better.
I think
They
it's
just
a
pair better.
pastime. I think it's really a
It's,
pastime.
it's
thing.
just a pastime.
I
The
think
way
it's just
that
a
they were
pastime.
maturated together.
People started off, back
Well,
in the day with whiskeys, and I think it just stayed on the whiskeys,
I think that's
bourbons, and
partially it
scotches.
too, but I also think that brown liquors, you're more prone to drink that straight. Like you're not going to mix that with anything.
That's facts.
A lot of white liquors or clear liquors,
Yeah.
you're going to mix it before it becomes
Except for some of the tequilas.
right. It's going to become very sweet, and that sweet doesn't pair well.
It
with
doesn't pair
cigars
well with cigars.
at all.
But
Yo,
I mean,
shout out Mona. Mona cigar burns. Mona burns. What's over Mona? Yeah. So
yeah,
she's a champagne drinker.
I think champagne. I never
She's
really,
a champagne. I'm not. I
really
don't
got
like
into
champagne
champagne
at all. So I'm definitely not drinking my cigar.
Sometimes I like champagne. It just depends.
It just kind of gives me this buzzily headache thing. I don't
It
like.
give me a headache. Champagne, wine. I can't really.
Yeah. So it's really all about what agrees with
Does
you.
it enhance the flavor of a cigar? Sometimes, if you get the right cigar with the right liquor, it does enhance the flavor. You can taste it a little bit.
Oh,
too.
it does. It
But you
definitely
got to
does.
pair the right. Every cigar doesn't go there.
I like
some,
root beer.
Some cigars go.
Root beer. Yeah.
I like Dr. Pepper
Like a
wine.
cold root beer.
But you know what helps
Yeah,
me
root
taste
beer
the cigar the most? I would tell anybody is like I say, is either cold water or cold mineral water because it clears your palate up a lot to be able to take in the different flavors a
Right.
cigar has.
Yeah.
So
But
that's
if I had to pick one thing though, I would say hot drinks are my favorite.
not my favorite.
With,
They're cool.
over
you
liquor
introduced me to
sometimes.
chai
Yeah.
Yeah. Chai latte,
and
yeah.
different chocolates.
The
and,
chai, the
I really
cocos,
enjoy that.
the cocos, the
I really
chais,
enjoy
and
it.
certain coffees.
They can really
Like
pull
the
the
other day,
flavor
I had
out.
a
The
cinnamon
creaminess of it,
dulce Starbucks
Ooh.
with the sweet cream.
Hey, that's dolce, not dulce.
Dolce.
Yeah.
I had the cinnamon dolce with the sweet cream, and I had that with a what was it? Was it a what's the new CAO? The one with the long ass black and gold.
I don't know.
No, the new one.
I don't smoke a ton of CLs. I don't know.
Well, it's a dark leaf, so I chose a dark Maduro and I smoked. It was great.
So this morning I had a chai latte. I went by Caffeine, which y'all need to go support black owned on Almeida's Caffeine Coffee Shop. And I sat on that patio, did some work this morning, and I had a chai latte. Which, by the way, I don't know if you know this. Either you and Tristan or you and Rob, one who introduced me into actually drinking hot drinks back at Cigar Envy with the cigars.
Oh, okay.
So I don't drink
I
coffee.
don't remember how
but
I
it was
got on that.
Chai
I think it's
latte.
probably Rob.
But the stick I had was a dark leaf too. It didn't have a band on it. It was so yesterday I was at Cigar Town. Shout out Cigar Town. I go over there every Mondays and Wednesdays over there. And they had a cigar rep in for a company called Stallion Cigars. And I've seen
I
them
love Stallion cigars.
Right. So the rep was in for Stallion. I've seen him in Stoga, seen him over there. And he gave me a Stallion as a sample. Like he saw what I was smoking. He
Which
gave me
blend?
something. He gave I don't remember the name of it, but it was a medium blend. I can't remember what it was. And then he had a bundle, and he was like, "Hey, try these. These have been 3 years aged." And we're talking about making it possibly the house blend for Cigar Town. So he gave me to try. It didn't have a band on it, and it was a decent stick, but because it was so dark, it went really well with the chai latte. And that's that thing though, Tamika. The darker the stick goes with certain stuff. Lighter your stick is, it'll go because it's heavy on your palate and lighter on your palate, right? So like a lot of dark sticks, I'll do that with the red wines. I'll do those with your whiskeys and your scotch.
Have more spice.
Right. The lighter ones is when you start messing with stuff that's a little more sweeter, a little more, you know what I mean? Because they pair well. So.
Right. More oaky.
Yeah. Right.
Woody notes.
How many of you guys made I've never technically made my own. I rolled my own cigar once, but I've never made my own cigar.
No, I haven't either.
None of us have made our own cigars. We have friends who have their own cigars. We have people that make cigars that we know that do that, and that's really a dope process. Here's the deal. There's a difference, and I know you don't really know this. There's a difference between making your own cigar and selling your own cigar.
Yeah,
right?
Totally different.
Because when you make your own cigar, you have to catch a plane ride. Like that's you got to get a passport, and you go to
Honduras,
places like Honduras, Nicaragua, Jamaica, even, and you start looking at the leaves on the plants, and you start picking stuff out, and you start like Dominican Republic is another place, and you start putting these blends together with someone who blends cigars to get the taste and the feel you want, so it's yours, right? Yeah. There are some people and some brands, a lot of them, not one in particular, a lot of them. Well, they'll buy cigar bundles of people that already made these cigars for dirt cheap. Go get their laser jet in their bedroom, print a
laser jet.
Print a band on
Inkjet.
Inkjet. Right. Put a band on it and sell it as their cigar. It's not the same thing.
It's not the same thing.
It's a process, and those cigars age for a while. And just because they say they aged for 10 years, I mean they really aged that long. I mean that one leaf in there.
No, ain't no fucking 10 years.
Or a year, 5 years, whatever they say. But to say that though, I haven't made none of us sitting here have made our own cigars. But we know people that do it, and to do it, it's a process. It's not an
overnight process.
Not an overnight process. It's not a cheap process. It's an art to
There's a lot more people out here that'll tell you they have their own cigar, but they really are buying bundles. So it's hard to know the difference today because it's so saturated.
Yeah.
With so many people trying to start their own blends.
Usually the band is a dead giveaway.
Yeah, the band's a dead giveaway.
Usually because. Thing is, when you get those authentic printed bands, they're sending them directly to the shop, to the factories over there, and they're putting them on.
Right.
When you're sitting in your living room and putting on a band that's printed right here, you can tell there's a difference.
Yeah.
Right.
Most of the time, I think I don't know, I may be totally 100% wrong on this, but just like when a company ships out, let's say Nike or whatever, makes a product that's in China or whatever, when it's mailed out or shipped out back to Nike, they have to have tags on them. Because that identifies what it is and part of the import process.
Right.
So I think the band serves that tag when they import it out most times, right?
Right.
So if they get over here, a lot of them with no bands on them, and they're putting that band there, then it's now not the same product that it was shipped out of that country with, and therefore you can tell it's almost a white label product.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, it's definitely a process. The sticks you get when you go, to these countries. And you might get the sticks for $1, 50 cents.
Right there.
50 cents. Some of the sticks are like 50 cents a piece. Just depends on, where you go and what factory you get them from and so forth. But you put your blend together, and then once you put the blend together, so the markup on cigars is a lot. Most
right. They're huge.
But the importing of them is what costs.
From wholesale to retail,
it's
100% markup.
It's
usually,
not
right?
more.
That's right.
More.
Well, wholesale to retail is 100%.
100%.
But before they get to wholesale, from production to wholesale is also a huge markup.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So like if you buy a cigar in the lounge for $10, the lounge get $5, the company get $5. Right.
Right.
So out of that $5 they made, it probably cost them what, 50 cents to get it made.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
is it Placencia?
Placencia's the biggest tobacco farm. I don't know if that's the biggest factory. 75%, I think it's either 60 or 75%, I don't know the exact number, I've heard different numbers, of tobacco you get from all these companies, big companies, small companies, come from a Placencia factory, farm.
Hey, you guys, before we go or whatever, I had something that happened to me the other day. I wanted to ask you guys about it.
It wasn't DeShaun Watson like, was it?
No.
I'm not your alibi.
No. I don't get the rubby tuggy. I don't even go to the massage parlors or like that.
If anybody calls you, Miles, I'll put you.
And Delvin, I need your
advice. We on the south side, not the west side. We on our side of town.
Expert, I need your expert opinion, and I should know if I should feel bad about this. I was going into the building the other day, and it was a female walking in front of me, and this is like the second time I've seen her. But every time the first time I seen her, she was getting attention, like, and kind of nose in the air, this, that, and the third. I don't know what she. No, but she was, aesthetically, she was bad.
Okay.
And so I'm behind her, but I'm carrying a shit ton of stuff, and I'm trying to rush to the elevator to get on the elevator with her because it's open. She see me and hit the close button and shit, right? And it's glass. And so I look at her like, you punk. So then, coming down, lo and behold, I'm on the elevator and it's about to close, and I see her trying to run to the elevator with a bunch of stuff.
Button?
I hit the close button.
Good man.
Was I wrong?
Yeah, you're wrong.
Hell no.
Yeah, I was wrong.
You're wrong.
Damn.
Nah, equality.
Why was he wrong?
Cause 2 wrongs don't make a right, my dude. You know.
Sometimes they do.
Because somebody treat you a certain way, you don't treat them the same way. Like,
Yes, you do.
Sometimes you gotta be better.
Yeah, no. Well, next time maybe she won't
You are
do
allowed
that.
to use your petty meter at least twice a week.
Well,
That's an emotional
I was
response.
trying to teach her. Maybe
Yeah.
she won't do it again to the next time
the next
because
person.
I didn't want your funky butt anyway. I
Yeah.
wanted the elevator, not you. So
Right,
now I have to put
right.
all this stuff down.
Or you can say, hey, here you go, and show it the right way and kill her with kindness.
No, I kill her with that close button the way she killed me.
What you just did was
Yeah.
showed her what she did was okay because you did it too.
No, it wasn't
See, now
okay.
she
It
knows,
showed
you know
that
what?
it sucks.
This does suck. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm all out of line. Yeah.
No, that's why I asked
I'ma
the
start
expert.
living
I didn't
right,
ask you. Thank you, expert.
Nah,
Nigga.
fuck 'em.
I feel better now.
You got the soul of Mr. Rogers in it.
Now you can rest. Now you can rest easy tonight.
I had to get that.
Yeah,
get
now
that
you
off my
won't have to
conscience.
toss and turn.
No, because
Thank
look,
you,
I've
expert.
been in a
Thank
position
you.
where I was just always taught to hold doors open for women.
Of course.
So I held the door open. I remember I was getting some donuts for my kids, so I held the door open for this chick, at the place, and she just stayed back, like she didn't want me to open the door for her.
Yeah, I've had
been
that
on-
happen to
like,
me before too.
I didn't-
I've been
fuck
on,
is that about?
I've been on dates with women who said they didn't want their doors open because it made them feel funny.
All right, then cool.
So what do you feel about that?
That we're not going on no more dates. Let me ask you this
They're
question.
gonna propose to you after the date.
Let me ask you. That's your shit. You the one that like the proposal. So let me ask you. Talking about holding doors for women. Do you hold doors for manly lesbians? For butch lesbians.
And tonight on Sticks and Shit Talk, we get blocked by
If
the
you
rest of the
walk in and you
world.
got a butch lesbian walking in, you hold the door for her too, like a woman, or you treat her like a
Do
man?
she
and
get
not hold
charged like it's ladies' night?
She pisses standing up. Why should I?
Hey, man. Hey, yeah, man. Hey.
it? No,
With that being said, this happened to be our last episode ever.
No, I'm with you. Like I'm not holding the door for a man lesbian either. I'm just asking what you did or not. So you say you're trained to hold doors for women. You gonna do a Junebug child?
They don't want to be.
Hey, Tom, well, now that we've been demonetized,
They don't want to be called women. So why should Why should we hold the door?
That happened one time.
They
at the
don't
club.
do they. I don't think they want you to anyway.
They might swing on
That's
you.
disrespectful.
Yeah.
Back in the day when I was
My nigga don't do that.
so speaking of, you talking about pay at the club. So one time I was going. This is back in the day when I was going to the club downtown. Downtown was popping a lot, and they had a couple in front of me. Right, one feminine, one butch lesbian. Right, she was there in her jeans, sagging, Air Force Ones, the whole nine. Right,
Right.
And so it was women were free that night. So they come in. It was $10 cover for everybody else. They walk up, bouncer say $10. A girl say, "Why? It's two women. Women are free." He said, "You got her on a date. One of y'all paying." You know what I'm saying? Like, you not a
Right
woman
on.
tonight. One of y'all gonna pay. They argued about that shit for a while. He was like,
Wow.
"You want to, you can leave, but one of y'all paying the $10."
y'all
She
paying.
got hot, bro. She was hot.
Like, no, guy, I was rushing to the
So you
elevator
want to be a woman. You want
because
to be
I
a man,
wanted
but you don't want to be
get
a
on
man
it
when it's time to pay.
without
Right,
putting all
exactly.
my stuff
Fuck
down.
out of here.
Hey,
that's
when you want to know the truth, see if they come help you out when it's time to move some furniture.
Oh man,
Piss standing up without pissing all over your leg, and then I gotta respect you.
what we done?
I think we're done. I think we're done.
I think we're done.
All right, we've been demonetized.
And,
I think
and
we're
hit
done.
the
Our work
close
is
button
done.
on the elevator.
hold on, before
for
we go.
those who hit the close button on you.
So before we go, check this out. All y'all in town, we're shooting at Brewski's again. Y'all seen us here.
But
on
yeah,
this
we gotta make
patio.
the announcement.
We got
This is
seen
our
on this patio. Many a nights. This is our last night on the patio, though.
last night on the patio.
And please excuse what we saw earlier, but upstairs,
What, Drunky Brewster?
Yeah. So
in Cracky Land?
yeah. So what y'all don't realize is y'all know this upstairs Brewski's. The Brewski's before Brewski's used to be a cigar lounge that somebody turned
Robustos.
It's called Robustos, turned into a club or whatever. But upstairs, it's still a cigar lounge ish upstairs, and it's very comfortable,
Very plush.
very plush, a very dope place to be. Well, we have officially made a partnership with Brewski's. This is going to be our home every week, but we're going upstairs. They don't even use upstairs no more, so they're going to
Yeah.
crack the doors for us to go up there, and we invite everybody out because we're gonna make a party of it every
Sticks
Thursday.
and Shit Talk will have its own private lounge.
We have our own private lounge and make our own party of it every Thursday.
Steak night.
Woo-hoo!
Steaks. It will be steak on
Steak night.
Thursday.
You know what I'm saying? What time? 7 o'clock or
Come
something.
to Vegas.
We'll put the flyer out. We'll put the commercial out.
Lego.
But make sure that y'all can start doing this live.
They could come participate. Come participate.
Yeah, Tamika
come
say
in.
we're coming to Vegas. Are we
Come
coming to
participate.
Vegas?
Have some drinks. Have some food.
When?
Smoke some.
I don't know.
sticks, talk some shit.
Vegas got a cigar week.
I know, but that's coming up this month.
Yeah, we ain't coming this month.
No.
But I don't know. We can come out. We're gonna try to. We're planning a trip. We'll
Yeah,
make sure we get out.
we got to hit Sugar Daddies.
Yeah, we can go to Vegas and do a show.
Sugar daddy.
I'm down with that.
I just like the name.
If y'all are in Houston
But
and you
I don't
guys
like
had a
the
chance
action.
to come out, come enjoy the drinks. They always got specials on the drinks.
Cheap
We got the
drinks.
cigars if that's what you want. If
Always
not,
drink
you don't,
specials,
you don't have
steaks.
to. And it's steak night.
And we gonna be here
And we're gonna be here. You can be a
Talking
part of
shit.
the show. You ain't gotta just
smoking sticks.
And
Yeah.
eating well.
It's a very plush atmosphere up there.
It's ratchet.
You get a chance to really enjoy some
ratchet
nice setup. They got TVs everywhere. We got a bar. We have a bartender upstairs every week.
She ratchet too.
And there's an upstairs balcony that we
It's
didn't talk
ratchet
about.
too.
that's just
Yeah.
balcony.
Upstairs balcony
nice.
that you can sit upstairs outside if you want to sit outside.
Tamika, we'll keep you posted. I used to live in Vegas.
It's
Tamika,
gonna be
actually.
dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tamika, I used to live in Vegas. We'll keep you posted. We'll come back out there.
We'll get the information out to you guys.
Hey,
You're
you
gonna
guys,
like
if
it.
you
Come
guys
and join
got
the
some,
show
if you
every
guys got
Thursday.
some products or something you want to advertise on the show, let us know. We in the business of doing that, so we're doing advertisement, whatever else you want to do.
Shameless plug.
You help us grow, we help you grow. We all grow together. We can all erect together.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, y'all, if y'all are already subscribed and liking this, make sure you do it. If not, do that. Also, go like our Facebook page of Four Brothers Podcast. Also, go follow our Instagram page at Sticks-N-ShyTalk Podcast. And follow us all individually. We all got something going on. You got my man Delvin the Expert on Instagram and his Cigar Hub apparel. We got my man J Tino, which is JSteve201 on Instagram, and his West Side apparel, the West Side products he got going. You got my man Irvin.Tyrone himself on Instagram, who also has the good vibe. This is new apparel shit popping, God vibes. Also has
Soapbox
Go and Soapbox Heroes, and he has a new
Soapbox Studio.
Soapbox Go
Soapbox
Studio.
Go Studio. We
And he
got
also has what's the new radio station?
New Earth Energy Radio.
New Earth Energy Radio.
Make it
Yeah,
sound
we-
good and look good.
We're doing radio casting, so we're doing radio and podcasting at the same time, and we could do it for you. But they should really come do some product placement. Let us talk about their products. Let us pump their stuff up because
Yeah.
we're gonna go big. You guys might as well go big.
Yeah,
Check
come,
me
come
out
sit in
at
for
I
an
Am-
interview.
Yeah.
And I am Miles Anthony, and then I got a new show coming on Soapbox and New Earth Energy Radio as well. That'll be popping. We doing a commercial tomorrow, right?
Yeah, we doing a
Filming
commercial.
tomorrow.
Are you doing your own
So-
stunts?
Hey man, I pull
Yeah.
stunts sometimes. Every time I pull a stunt.
Yeah, and shout out to Baby Brown back there. You can
The
follow
man in
him.
the back behind the building.
You can follow him BAPE_BRON. Baby Brown.
Yo man, I appreciate you guys tuning in, whether you here in Houston or Vegas or New Orleans or California, North Carolina. I know you guys all over the country, and I really appreciate you guys tuning in.
Don't be like the lady that said she seen DeShaun Watson's dick, passed out, and shat herself. That's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Very embarrassing.
Yeah, don't be like that.
Yo man, cut this shit off.
All right, we're
And
done.
again, we didn't
Smoked our sticks.
talk our shit. We out.
But our
See you
shit
guys
stayed in
next-
our pants though.
It stayed in our pants. Man, listen. Cut the stream. Cut
No
the stream.
no stains.
No stains.
No stains.
No stains.
I need that filthy rich again.
We'll see you guys next week.
I be that nigga always wearing something clean for the group. It's looking like Kane, but nah, this is not a movie.